Second time lucky. Hopefully this is working. Little technical glitch there. I'm not quite sure what happened, but the camera didn't seem to be working. Let's see if we can find Mr. Oak. There he is. And everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, Miguel Climbs. Hey, mate of you. Or Mateo Feo. Oh my gosh. Hey, DT Brooks. Very good morning to everybody tuning in. Apologies for that slight technical problem there. I'm not quite sure what happened, but we are here now, and that is what matters. We are waiting for Albert to join us. I'm sure he's around somewhere. Let's get him again. Let's give him a little request. Professor Oak, where are you, big guns? Send request. I'm sure he'll be here any second. Thank you so much for joining us. Joshua, Dane, where are you in the world? Let me know where you're tuning in from. I would love to see in the comments where in the world we have our viewers today. Of course, my name's Liam. I'm going to be taking care of things for the morning. We have so many people here. Armando, we have Jung climbing. Very good morning. Albert, where are you, buddy? Nobody knows where Albert Oak is. Let's see if we can find him. Tuning in from Las Vegas. How delightful. Thank you, Miguel. Guide of Photography, where are you tuning in from? There he is. Albert Oak, get yourself in. Starry Night. Send request. Thea's here, or Tiago rather. Oh my gosh. Tuning in from California, Mateo. Climbers Crag joined. Climbers Crag, a very warm welcome. Tuning in from NYC there, Dane. Let me know where you're tuning in from in the comments. Albert will be with us any second. He's on the broadcast. I've sent a request for him to join us live, but he is not accepting. There he is. Are you there?
There I go.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. I was getting nervous, mate.
So what happened was I was hosting one, and then I realized that you hosted it first, so I just like switched it around.
You were just like, hey, I'm
how's it going,
taking this.
Daniel?
I'm taking this.
How's it going, Daniel? Daniel Gosh does there. Oh man, everyone's here. Everyone's popping.
Everyone's here.
Hello,
Oak's
Armando.
#1 fan from Brazil.
Is that who is that?
His name was Tiago.
Oh, Thiago Weldem. Dude, he's done so much work for me, like in the background. He's translated a lot of my videos in Portuguese, which is, dude, this guy's a saint. He's incredible.
That. Amazing. Okay, well, let's kick this off. We are so grateful to have you here. Of course, my name is Liam Lonsdale. I'll be the host today for this Kaya Collective Live. Just like ground rules, housekeeping, whatever you want to call it. We love your questions. Ask questions anytime. Don't feel like you have to wait for the end. You can ask them here in the comments. You can ask them in the chat. Wherever feels good to you, you can ask them. Oh no, we've not lost him, have we already? Here he is. Come on. Let's get him back in. Albert, are you there? Oh my goodness.
Did I get kicked out?
Is he there? I don't know what happened, man. You were there and then you weren't.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So ask questions, ask whatever you want. You can ask it in the comments. I already said to Albert, is there anything that you don't want to talk about? And he said, I'm an open book. You go for it. So anything goes in the questions here. So yeah, we're definitely excited to have Albert. And if you don't know who Albert is, Albert Oak's a very successful climbing YouTuber based out of Houston, Texas. He's one of the most subscribed climbing channels around, with his Breaking Beta series, amongst others, proving very popular. And he is very, very close now to 10 million total views, which is absolutely massive. Albert, you seem to be frozen, mate. Can you hear me? This is the point where I say to Albert, and so that's a very brief introduction about you, but I'd love to hear how you would introduce yourself. And of course, Albert has had a problem. Okay, we're going to figure this out, but don't worry. Let's leave this as an opportunity. Let me know in the comments where you are tuning in from. Kim Jane's the main attraction here. Yeah. Let me see if I can kick him out and then ask him to come back. We'll figure this out. Don't worry, folks. Oh, I can
I'm
hear
back.
you, but I can't see you. I hear you, but I don't see you.
Oh, dang. Okay. Uh, then my connection was perfect, and then hold on. How about now? On my end, it shows.
Still don't
On
see you.
my
You're frozen. Okay. Well, let's
wait, ask someone in
let's
the
hope for
chat.
the best. Well,
Anyone in the chat? Do you see both of us?
yeah. Do you see both of us, and is Albert moving? That's the question.
I'm making dance moves.
I literally just see you like super static.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
can
let
see
us
like
know in the chat if you see. I see both. Okay, I can see both, and everybody's moving.
cool.
I just have a spinning wheel for death view. Albert is laggy. Okay, well, we'll just go for it, Albert. Don't worry, man.
Wicked.
Albert, you are really laggy. He's just 1 pixel. Albert
Oh,
looks like a
dang.
potato.
Nothing changed.
Maybe if you hop out and hop back in again. Hop
Okay.
out, hop back in again. I'll make sure you get accepted. Yeah. And then in the meantime, while Albert's hopping out and hopping back in again, we're going to try and get this connection problem fixed. Please do ask questions for Albert below. I've already seen a couple come in, one around when he's going to join the Olympic team. That came in from Tiago. I would love to get everybody's questions for Albert. We already have some that came in on Instagram. Here he is. Okay, cross your fingers, folks. Let's hope for Albert Oak in the digital flesh. Come on, Albert. Come on, Albert. Okay. You're still a little laggy, but we'll go with it.
Wicked. Okay. We'll try.
Okay, cool. So I already gave you an introduction. Maybe I'll do it again so we can clip it. Albert Oak is a very successful climbing YouTuber based out of Houston, Texas. Albert's is one of the most subscribed climbing channels around, with his Breaking Beta series, amongst others, proving very popular, and he is very, very close now to 10 million total views. Albert, that's a very brief intro from me, but I'd love to hear what you have to say about you and your climbing as a whole. So how would you introduce yourself?
So actually, first off, the crazy thing is, I just found out maybe last week that I'm close to 10 million, and now that you said it, like it's kind of crazy. I didn't even know that this entire time. Um, I have been climbing since I was 19, and so it's been about like 5.5 years now. It's been a journey that I did not expect me to get me where I am today and doing what I'm doing. And heck, honestly, if I didn't start climbing, I wouldn't even be talking to you, or even I wouldn't even know who you are, basically. And that's kind of crazy to think about how insane just trying something new can take you in anywhere. So whether it's climbing or cooking or riding a bike or something, you really don't know, and it's really amazing to see where it's taken me and where it's going to keep taking me.
Yeah, amazing. For folks that don't know you or don't know your background, or haven't done the research that I've done, you did a TEDx talk several years ago now, and in it you
Oh,
spoke about your fear of public speaking. And obviously tricking became a big part of that, but I'm just really intrigued to know like how someone goes from essentially being scared of speaking in public to having a highly successful YouTube channel, which is basically the opposite.
wow, you did. That's like that's kind of hard to find. Well, not too hard to find, but you definitely have to search to find that video. And I also don't really advertise it that much. But basically, when I was a kid, I would be the
Sorry.
kid who. Oh, sorry. Is it audible?
No, you could.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but basically, when I was a kid, I was the kid that was too shy to even ask for directions or like where the bathroom is. I wouldn't even like order my meals. I pretty much was like that all the way up until junior year high school, maybe sophomore year high school. I don't know what happened. Something just kind of just changed where I joined speech and debate. And that was the exact opposite of what I was living my life as. I was so afraid to publicly speak. I was so afraid to talk in front of the classroom. And then I did speech and debate. I had one tournament. I did relatively well at a local tournament, a small local tournament. And I was like, wait, how did I just do that? I have no clue how I just spoke in front of an audience. And I just kept writing the momentum. And that led me, that's like another example of you just trying something new and it just leads you to another place. Now I'm very comfortable speaking publicly. I can think in a way where publicly talking is fine and I'm very comfortable doing it. I can write my own script. It's sort of like all these amalgamations of skills that allowed me to start a YouTube channel. I think content creators are probably the best jack of all trade kind of people, where you have to have a little bit of skill from everywhere here and there. And so combining speech and debate, learning how to form stories and write stories through that, learning how to speak and learning how to enunciate, led into writing my own scripts. And then through tricking, which is the martial arts flips crazy stuff where I talk all the time about, they have like a subculture of that where they make samplers, which is you basically just do your year-end summary highlight reel of the moves you learned for that year. So I learned how to film and edit through that, and I don't know, it just, you bring pieces and parts of your life together, and then I centered it around climbing, and I created the YouTube channel.
Amazing. And so, it's funny that my next question is, what's your secret to success with YouTube? But I feel like you just revealed it, which is essentially, you had this like path of self-discovery, realization, and like a learning of some really key skills that kind of brought you to where you are now. What made you start that YouTube channel then? Like what was it that, like, at what point did you go, I need to start my own YouTube channel? Like, how did that happen?
If some of the original homies that have been friends with me since middle school know that I even started making videos in middle school, and I posted on YouTube. If you want to know it's the video I posted, I think in middle school, was me swallowing 32 pebbles, and
10 million views on YouTube, you've got to re-release it. At 10 million views, you've got to re-release it.
I don't know where the video is. Like, it doesn't exist. I don't know. I deleted the channel and it's gone. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. But I started making videos then, but then I started really getting into the editing process through tricking. So I actually have another channel that has all my tricking videos on it. If you search, you can find it. There's probably over 200 videos on it already. And you can kind of see how bad I was at editing. I started with like Windows Movie Maker all the way to Adobe Premiere, learning like After Effects and skills like that. And so I had, at my previous employer, I actually made the first Beta Break episode a year before releasing it. And I pitched it to them, like, maybe there's room for it, maybe it's not, and it never really went anywhere with the company that I was with. And I sort of just like put it in the back pocket and sat on it. And I sat on that video for an entire year, nothing was changed. And I've talked about this story before, where I made that video off like the most toastery potato laptop you could ever find. Like, this thing barely has 2 hinges and a keyboard, and I did it with like 3 microphone, no camera. Well, like, the camera was my phone. I wrote the script, I made the video, and I saved it. Corona hit, sort of occupation things, and like a whole bunch of problems went on with my life just because of Corona, and that does it to kind of everyone. And I was like, I have literally nothing to lose. If there is a rock bottom, I don't think I'm there yet, but I'm probably really close, so why don't I just release it? I released the video. It got like 0 views in the first day. And then the next day, all of a sudden I was like, whoa, why is there 10,000 views on it? Whoa, why is there 20,000 views? And then it just kept climbing. I was like, wait, what's happening? Something's happening. And so it just caught on, and I kept rolling with the steam. And I've been doing YouTube. I've been watching YouTube. I know the patterns. I know the algorithm. I know what works, what doesn't. And I just ran with it. I was like, okay, I started. I'm not going to stop.
That's incredible. I mean, to think that it's like 18 months that you have been doing it, and to have amassed almost 10 million views in 18 months, it's really, yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive. Congratulations.
And I guess
it's all I can say. I mean, it's just phenomenal.
The one thing I'm sort of proud about is the fact that it's in the climbing niche, and it's like sort of hard to get views in the climbing niche because it's already such a small community if you think about the grand scheme. And so that's what I'm really excited about, how I'm like able to push climbing forward. And I have comments all the time. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm started climbing because of you. I've never even climbed. I'm watching this, and that's what I care about. I don't care about the trad dads commenting like, oh, this is stupid. I don't care about that at all. I care more about the people who have never climbed before and said, first thing I've ever seen on climbing. I don't know how I got here, but I'm going to go try it. That makes me happy.
Yeah, it's amazing. And at what point, between today and 18 months ago, did speed climbing become part of the equation?
I guess this would have been, in January. I've always wanted to speed climb. I'm naturally fast. I've been really proficient at track. 110-meter hurdles was like my thing. I held the freshman record at my high school for a while. I was always fast, and it just makes sense. For this reason, that reason, I didn't have access to the wall. I had sort of arguments about it even, and I just never had the opportunity. And so I came back to Houston planning to speed climb initially, but I tore my pulley almost like immediately when I got back to Houston. And then so I couldn't speed climb for a few months. And once it was healed enough, January, around my birthday, I was like, this is it. This is something I'm doing for myself. This is a gift to myself. Like, I don't know how you are about this. I like receiving gifts and all that stuff. I don't care. I like to, if I'm going to get a gift, it's going to be from myself to myself. And it's going to be like the gift of a new experience. And so that's what I chose. I had an amazing friend, Maddie Morris. Shout out if you're watching. Actually, you shouldn't be watching because you're probably at work. She was for the national team trials, and she went in for bouldering, and she was like juggling the idea of whether she would compete in speedball, sort of like get the start and learn some very, very fundamental basics. And I just kept on running and speeding and climbing up the wall, and hopefully by the end of this week, I'll be under 7 seconds.
By the end of this week?
Yeah, I'm trying to push it.
Love that. Amazing. I thought you were going to say by the end of this year. Dude, that's incredible.
A year would be cool to be 6.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm just going to let you know that your audio is now almost as bad as your video. I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't know exactly what's happening, but it's definitely getting worse.
No. I'm gonna try
keep
something.
Trying though. I'm getting like 80% of your audio, which is why I'm pulling these unusual faces when you're answering. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. I mean, if you want to try and reset it, that's totally up to you. But if you want to just keep crushing, then we can keep going through. So you've kind of changed your focus now to speed. You are literally training for speed, maybe with the goal of making the national team.
Mm-hmm.
Where does other climbing come into that? I almost said real climbing, but I don't think that's fair. Where does other climbing come into that? Oh my gosh, he's gone altogether. This is disastrous. If you are just joining us, thank you so much for tuning in to Kaya Collective Live. We are ostensibly live with Albert Oak. He's having a couple technical difficulties. Albert, if you can hear me, maybe hop out, turn your internet off, turn it back on again, hop back in again. We still have time. We've still got plenty of questions. Don't go anywhere. He has gone. No stress. And thank you so much for joining us. Albert Oak is just resetting his internet connection. He's been having some pretty significant technical issues. We've already covered some really interesting topics around public speaking, around the success of his YouTube channel, and we're just getting into climbing and speed climbing and where the balance is for that. I would love to see Professor Oaks. Sorry, everyone, I don't know why the connection went down so hard. Don't worry, Albert. We'll figure it out. Turn your internet off, turn it back on again. That's what the pros would say, right? If you do have a question for Albert, we'd love to get it in the comments. He is back, so let's see what happens. Cross your fingers, folks. Let's hope for the best here. Good vibes.
I took the advice. I'm just gonna go off data.
So much better.
Yeah.
Wait, you were on data?
No, I was on Wi-Fi.
Oh, now you're on data.
Yeah. I think Wi-Fi is just worse. That's crazy. Yeah.
It is, dude. I can see you and hear you perfectly.
Excellent. Okay.
Dude, Ludovico Fasali's tuned in. Like,
oh my
speed
goodness.
Big guns right now. Ciao, ragazzi. Ludovico, great to have you on board. Right, it's late there. Buonanotte. Hey, folks. Albert's back with us, which is awesome. Albert, I kind of want to do the whole interview again, but I'm not going to. Let's plow on. The question that I asked before we lost you was, speed climbing's your focus now. You're training possibly for a national team spot, which I'm sure would be amazing. And I know that's kind of a goal for you. Where does the rest of climbing fall into it for you right now?
So I was, before I crapped out on my internet, I was going to say that I view climbing very much how I view everything else I do in life. If there is something and there are different variations of that entity, I want to explore it in every facet possible. So I've done bouldering at a decently high level, double digits. I've done like high-end, almost 14A sport climbing. I've even done dry tooling. I've done ice climbing. I've done trad. I've done crack climbing. I've done a little bit of off-width. I've done indoor dry tooling. I can do aid climbing. I like
No. Just because you can doesn't mean you have.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. I haven't big walled yet.
Okay.
I'm not there yet. I don't know if I want to be there yet. But everything I did has crossover to each other. And so now that I'm speed climbing, I am infinitely a better boulder than I've ever been. In fact, the coolest thing that I heard recently was when I was at Momentum Mill Creek in Utah. Gregor Vazonic was there and was like, "Wait, have you gained muscle or something?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even notice that on myself, but I guess I have." And it's because of speed climbing, and I have so much power. I can do a one-arm pull-up, kind of, for the first time in my life. I can hold a lock-off, which I could never do. I can campus. And I don't intend to stop on the other facets of climbing at all. Now, would I slow down on sport climbing? Probably. Would I slow down a little bit on bouldering? And I probably won't be focusing on super power and power endurance sort of ideas like that? Yeah, probably. But it's does not mean I will stop. I think I can be proficiently at like a double-digit bouldering level while maintaining the speed and getting faster as well. If anything, it's going to make me just stronger. And hangboarding, I have to do it for speed climbing. The holds are jugs, but they're not really jugs. Like if you're moving that fast, you hit them inaccurately and you can hurt your tendons, and that's happened many times to a lot of climbers. So
interesting. So yeah, that's kind of cool that you can see the benefits of speed across the other disciplines. I was just thinking about other athletes who I know, Olympic qualified athletes, for example, that are kind of resenting sport and aren't training it
Hmm.
because they don't really want to, and how it could benefit elsewhere. Super interesting. Um, so answer me this: what does success in climbing look like for you?
Success is a thing that I've been thinking about even yesterday. Yesterday, I had probably the most consistent best speed climbing day of my life. I went under 7.5 like several times, back to back to back to back. Any day, if you asked me if I could do that a month ago, I would have said no, there's no possible way. And yet, yesterday, I was still disappointed.
Hmm.
I was frustrated. I wanted more. And I wanted to go faster. I wanted to be under 7 seconds, and I wanted to always accomplish the next thing. And speed climbing is this weird thing because you have a very objective definition of what your progress is. You can't argue with the clock. It is a pure metric. Whereas bouldering and sport climbing, you can kind of just like feel if you're better or not, and you don't exactly have a pure concrete scalable metric that you can see every time.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes a lot of climbers, and including myself, we get stuck in this mode where you have to base your success off of these numbers or a new grade, a new accomplishment. And I'm driving home, or actually I wasn't even driving home. I was driving to a coffee shop and a bar to go play chess to relax actually afterwards. And I'm thinking to myself, why am I mad at not breaking 7 when I had the best day of my life? Like, why am I still frustrated? Why am I defining myself of success off of this thing, this metric? And by the time I got there and I started playing chess, I'm like relaxed now, and I realized it's like I shouldn't define my success off of the metric. I should define my success off the process and the impact that I can do to move things forward. Because I didn't go under 7, but I still moved forward. And it doesn't matter if tomorrow I can't climb ever again. I really have no clue, but can I move the climbing community forward?
Mm.
Can I improve the lives of others? Can I do something great for like the world? These are the things that I realize that I should be defining my success as, and I need a. It's been a struggle to fight myself on either the metric or the process, and now it's becoming clearer and clearer that the process and going forward and just moving forward is the real definition of success, and that's been a challenge of mine.
That's really cool. And like kind of amazing to come to that realization now.
Yeah, it's hard because I'm never going to be like a V15 boulder. I'm never going to climb 15A. And it'd be cool to, of course. Like you ask any climber that's into climbing, they would love to do that. That would be so cool. And I will never win a World Cup. I'll never win like the bouldering, like and even National Cup. I'll never even probably podium. And do I want that? Sure. But is that like a process that is reasonable for me to help myself and like help the world move forward? I don't think so. And it's been nice to finally accept that.
Sure. Yeah, it's funny as well because you say like, do I want that when you think about a podium or a win or whatever? And we say yes, but like, do we really? And do we know why we want it? Like why do we want it? Maybe we just think we want it. Like, the like what's so great about winning, you know?
Hmm.
It can kind of be empty if it doesn't come with, some of the things that you're talking about there. Even, being that national champion, if you don't do anything with that, then
Hmm.
what does it really mean?
Yeah, like there's a lot more weight to accomplishments than like a medal sometimes.
Sure.
And if anything, can I turn the question a little bit onto you? It's like you're a very high level climber, you're a high level athlete, and the impact you've made through your career, was it something that you expected?
Mm. Yeah, it's really interesting. First of all, this isn't your bloody interview. I'm joking. It's a really interesting question because actually, throughout my career so far, in all walks of what I've done, but especially focusing on like the last 5 or 6 years, I had this like feeling that I wanted to do something that like moved the needle in the climbing world. Climbing has given me such an incredible experience. It's literally given me everything. From my family to like being here to everything. And I really wanted to like feel like I could give something back. And I didn't really know what it was. And in the back of my mind, I thought that maybe it was some sort of shoot that then like I created like a book, like a photo book or something like that, that like really told a story or created, this just a body of work that made people go like, huh, climbing, okay. Not particular to me, but to climbing. And I really struggled with figuring out what that was. And interestingly, when the concept of the Kaya Collective came up, it kind of struck me like, huh, maybe the Kaya Collective is that thing, bringing these incredible athletes, incredible leaders, incredible, folks within the climbing space together to collaborate, to discuss, etc. And like bringing the Kaya Collective together, for me, like actually taking a step back somewhat and like giving you all the platform and the space to excel, to grow, to like have these conversations, etc. That for me like felt like a bit of a light bulb moment, and it felt like this could be the impact and the kind of the thing that really makes a mark. So it's happening now is my short answer, I think. The long answer is everything I've just said. But who knows what the future holds? I'm really, really excited by what the Kaya Collective represents and by the work that I think is going to come from it. But yeah, like who knows what else could happen? It's exciting though.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not competitive. If I'm at a competition, I'm
Sure.
on. You can't talk to me. I am somebody else. I'm on a different planet. I'm like a little of a jerk. I'm a little bit of a jerk when I'm in a comp because like I'm focused. But like, is that if I don't win, is that the end of the world?
Yeah.
No,
Right.
there's so much that you can do beyond a gold medal.
Hmm. What does success look like on YouTube for you?
That's also now this is like almost a very similar answer, but in a complete different way.
Hmm.
YouTube is weird. Social media is weird. Content creation is weird, right? Like it is a space that is perfectly documented. You can get any type of data metric from anything you do on the entire internet, but yet it's something that none of us know about still. It is like still such a big question on how it works and what's the impact and what's the end goal of it.
Right.
What I've been doing with the YouTube channel is like I haven't monetized. It's no like surprise there. Like you see advertisements on my videos,
Sure.
and I've been slowly saving up that monetization money because I've talked about it before. I want to open a gym in my hometown, Trenton, New Jersey, where it'll be free for kids who need it, who need a safe place to go after school, if they needed to just like hang out, have an environment, be exposed to a world of the outdoors. And it's like kind of the story. It's like I didn't know that climbing was going to get me here. We don't know if climbing will get someone else even further than I've ever been.
Right.
And that's kind of beautiful. And I want to give that opportunity to any kid or adult even there. And it's going to be like a free gym co-op, purely fueled off of YouTube, Like I'm gonna go there, hand build half of it pretty much myself. I've asked for some grants from the city, and I've like in a whole bunch of application process, and as well as I'm sure some companies would be willing to like sell things for cheap for me, and it's like the end all be all project. That's like the end goal. Beyond that, yeah, sure, it'd be great to have like a million subs and be like living the YouTube lifestyle and whatever, but I don't care that much actually. It's just all about telling the stories that are unheard. I mean, if you look at the content I've been sort of making, like the longer form interview content, I focus on stories that are unique, unheard, but are just as powerful as the ones that you do here. I love Alex Honnold. His story, incredible. But what about the people that aren't Alex Honnold, that never get seen? Those people have a very large impact in their own small communities, if not a larger impact, because it's so focused and it's like centralized. But
What
yeah,
what's the timeline on that, Jim? Like, it's I mean, you it sounds like you're moving with it.
the goal will be I can hopefully within 3 years. That's like the goal. I wanted like if I could do it before I'm 30, that'd be incredible. I'm also picking up more knowledge on the way there. I need to do a lot of research as well, and I've been learning from gym owners and talking to them, hearing whispers on little tricks and tips here and there. So there's a lot of research I'm going on it, but I want it to be something that is purely me, purely fueled by the community, something that I can give back to my roots, and something that's self-sufficient, because I do not want to live in New Jersey, man. I moved out of there for a reason, but you know, I love New Jersey at the same time. I can't handle that weather and traffic, you know. It's just, and ironic because I'm in Houston, so I have like probably the worst weather and traffic. But
All right. I'm conscious of the time, and we've got a bunch of questions that have come in on the IG stories that we posted over the past couple of days on the
excellent.
Kaya Instagram. The first one, I feel like you kind of answered it early on, but the audio and video was so bad that I'm going to ask it again. What made you start climbing? And that came from at TTTTTTTTHEKZO. 6 T's.
So whatever that name is, sorry, but I actually a friend introduced me from one of my math classes in university, and took me. I was absolutely garbage. I projected a V0 for an entire month, and got it like towards the very end of the month, right before they reset it. Best day of my life, and I still remember it to this day.
Love that. I love this question. Nothing's off limits. This came from Michael M. Tran, and he said, "Why are you so handsome?"
Well, I have to turn it back on him because why is he so handsome? Because he's the. I used to climb with him in the beginning days of my climbing journey,
Uh-huh.
and he's so strong. He's evolved so well, and I think I just got to put it out there. Out of all the types of athletes, I think climbers are probably the most attractive, right? That's just like a solid general statement. They have a good build, you know, they have the muscles in the right spot. I just feel like they're all generally above average.
Love that. I'm gonna let you answer that. I'm staying impartial. This one came from at Kim_Instang, who is of course Kaya's CEO. She said, "How did you get started with your videos?" And I know we already covered that right at the beginning, but again, audio video was very poor. So I'm thinking that I'm probably going to clip a lot of that out, and we just go from here. So
Yeah.
maybe like the shortened version of how you started with your videos.
Been making videos for a long time. Made the first beta break episode a year before I released it. Corona happened. Released it. Went viral.
10 million views. Almost, almost.
Almost.
This one came in from Miguel Climbs. He said, "Do you ever miss the anonymity that you used to have before becoming famous?"
There's been a few times already where it felt different. It was a little overwhelming. There's been times where I'm like right about to climb and somebody like comes up and say hi, and it like, you know, kind of breaks the flow, and I don't mind it. And I understand that like it's like I invite people to ask me and say hi. I love it when people come up and say hi. Man, at Salt Lake City it felt amazing. I just like got to meet so many great people. In fact, I invited one of the guys to the gym and he showed up. Shout out to Andy, and he's like the nicest Minnesotan because of course anyone from Minnesota is so nice. And so I love interacting with people that have seen my content. But it does get overwhelming sometimes when it's like I go to the gym sometimes for myself. And then now I have to like understand that it's also for other people, and I have to be okay with it. And yeah, it does get overwhelming on some days because you have bad days and you just want to stress relief at the gym. And I'm pretty sure everyone else that is lost some anonymity has felt this way. But the great thing is, if I go to Walmart, nobody knows who I am. So
Yeah. It's like, what is famous, really? Like, I don't think
yeah,
it's fame in the normal sense. It's like a very micro sense. But I totally hear you. The one time that for me it was like, was too much. I was super jet lagged. I was on like a back-to-back shoot, and I was at an airport. It was Manchester Airport, like my home airport. It's like 3 or 4 a.m. and I was literally like so dead. And I was about to walk through security, and this like young couple like yelled, "Hey, Liam, can we have a selfie?" And honestly, I felt so awful, and I just like carried on walking. I didn't even turn around, and I like just walked through security. I never told this story, and I felt so bad afterwards, like after I'd had a coffee and like kind of come round, because I was like,
yeah,
wow, what a dick.
yeah.
But at the same
That's
time,
hard.
I was
Yeah,
just
it's
like
hard.
so exhausted, you know? Yeah, interesting. Okay, let's keep going. Um, this is a great one. This is from I Hate Filth, or Phil F. Bring love, not hate. He says, what is breaking the beta, and is there an alpha as well?
Breaking the beta is finding unique solutions that are out of the realm of the intended solution to a bouldering problem, sport climbing route. And is there breaking the alpha? Well, this is going to be a very nerdy reference, and only a handful of you will get it. You can't break alpha because Tyler 1 is the most alpha.
I have no idea.
Exactly. For the people who get it, that's all that matters.
Here is something though, because maybe that question comes from the fact that people don't know what beta means, or beta, for you American folk. Beta is a reference to how the first climbers that were using beta were using a tape called Betamax. They would record the video, climbing session, because we didn't have phones back then, and then they would watch the Betamax or the Betamax video back to see what they'd done and analyze it, and then go back successfully. And that got abbreviated to beta or beta, and that is why we call it beta today. So breaking the beta is from that reference. Climbing culture education. We're doing it. Okay,
Done.
let's keep
I
going.
have a full episode on it, so.
Oh, you do? I haven't seen
Yeah,
that.
I'm explaining it. Yeah.
Awesome. There you go. We'll share it in the link on when we put the YouTube replay up. Okay, what are your favorite climbing channels on YouTube other than your own? That one comes from. Oh, I don't know who that came in from. I didn't write the name down. Sorry.
Of course, we gotta Magnus Midbo is our king out there.
Love that.
Emil Abrahamson is one of my homies for sure. Climbers.crag, I know I think they're in the chat actually right now. They're doing a great work. They're really like finding a unique way to present climbing. Other climbing channels, got a shout out to my boy Miguel Climbs. He's doing well. I think he's about to hit his first 1,000 subscribers.
Amazing.
And Geek Climber, who's actually such a nice guy in person. Like, he definitely has like a character online, but once everybody breaks their character, you can really see who they are, and he's like a really nice guy. There's a lot of other climbing channels. Obviously, Mello is doing crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But actually, I don't actually quite watch too many climbing channels that often, just because I try to find the trends in things that are bigger than climbing. So, yeah, those are some of the channels. Oh, of course, Eric Carlson
The
and
OG.
Bouldering Bobats. I got to shout out all of them. Lizzie is doing pretty well out there. These are all the homies that I have or collaborated with or will hopefully. Wide Boys, of course. They're all doing great work out there. Yeah.
Love that. I'm going to skip to a question that's been asked here because I see it come in and I don't want to write it down. This one comes from John Salsa Kang. It says, I've been stuck at a grade for a while where I'm now regularly sending my current grade within a single session. How can I work on a mindset to bump a grade?
Okay, it's also relative on what grade you're at. So, like, someone who's stagnating at V10 is going to have a different approach than someone who's stagnating, let's say, at V4 or V5. I think the biggest thing is be open to just trying harder things. And then the next thing is question yourself, can you do that grade in every style of the gym? If you can't, that's probably your weakness. Go back, build that foundation, and then you'll find out and you'll be able to move on beyond that. Honestly, very basic strength training always goes a long way, but the number one thing it's like the blanket cure for anyone who's stuck at a grade is just go learn how to 1 foot climb. Climb with 1 foot. That's it. Just do a full session with 1 foot climbing at your maybe a grade below your max grade. Do a climb 2 times, once left foot, once right foot. You're going to learn so much movement, power, and challenge yourself in new ways.
For sure. What's your weakness?
My weakness, right now, because I have very bad tendons, it's micro crimping and steep overhang. I've gotten really good at roof, gotten really good at face. I love slab, but right, it's like that 45 right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doomed. So hard for me.
Interesting. Okay, when are you joining the Olympic team? That comes from Tiago.
Never. I don't know.
Never.
I don't think I want to go to the Olympics. I don't know. Well, maybe ask me in 3 years.
Yeah, right. Ask you when you qualify. The one style of climbing that you didn't mention, also from Tiago, was DWS. Your deep
water soloing. Oh, I have done it. I've done it. It's fun. I suck at swimming, but I can do the climbing part.
Love that. Just climb with floaties on, mate.
I should.
Last question to come in on Instagram as our time steadily ticks down. This one comes from @EarthExpression. Who inspires you?
Ooh. That's a difficult question because I feel like being inspired by someone and seeing someone as an inspiration can get a little confusing sometimes. I get inspired by the guy who has never done a V0 doing his V0 for the first time. I get inspired by the Indonesians breaking the world record. I don't really like idolize or heroize anybody because they're all just regular people. And so the short, easy answer is literally everyone around me so many people have inspired me. And that's what inspires me to keep doing what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Now, is there like a single inspiration that I can point out? I have like a few names that I like look up to and I respect highly. But at the end of the day, I recognize they're regular people. They all go to Walmart and buy bread. They all go to the bathroom. They all brush their teeth. They all have bad days. And so I don't like to like shine that kind of light on people because I wouldn't want the same for me. Like, I don't want people to be like, oh my God, this guy's like my hero idol or anything. Because, you know, I peed right before this, right? Like that's the most humanizing thing anyone could ever do, right?
I'm peeing right now.
Yeah, I could be peeing right. You don't know, right? Exactly. So, yeah, I like to view every human as a human because that's that's what people deserve to be treated as. And,
yeah, right.
But I'm inspired by so many people. I'm inspired by you, like your insane work ethic, and like you care way so much. It's insane. Like I love it.
Well, it's very nice of you to say. Often don't feel very inspiring. Okay, This is a little feature that we're going to do in every single Kaya Collective Live, and it's called Quickfire Questions. You just have to answer these, first answer that comes to mind. Some of them are multiple choice, like yes or no's. Some of them aren't. Indoor or outdoor?
Right now, indoors.
Sport or bouldering or speed?
Speed.
Knee pad or bare skin?
Bearskin.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only way. Favorite climbing area?
Can it be a place I've never been to?
No questions to answer the questions. You got to answer the question. Favorite climbing area?
Ooh. Movement Rhino.
Oh my God. All the beta or on site?
On site.
On site or die. Most memorable send?
Ooh. Wild Hair V11.
Not your first V0.
Ooh.
Now you can't change your mind. Favorite rock type?
Granite.
Granite guy.
Polyurethane. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Resin.
Resin. Fiberglass.
Oh my
Fiberglass.
gosh.
Yeah. Baltex.
Pockets or pinches?
Pinches for sure.
Pockets, mate. Crimps or slopers?
My tendons. My tendons.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Fair. Crimps or slopers?
Because tendons, slopers. Ow, actually my wrist is bad too. Slopers still.
Solo mission. Solo session or crew mission?
Solo session.
There you go. Boom. Albert Oak, you absolutely crushed. Just to remind folks, Albert and I are here on the Kaya Climbing channel. You can follow Kaya. You can download Kaya and find Albert in there. And his username in Kaya is the same as his Instagram, which is @ProfessorOak. Which reminds me, one question which I accidentally skipped over. @Professor Oak.
Oh, it's a play on Professor Oak from Pokemon and my last name.
Oh my gosh.
I'll post a photo on my story that'll make sense.
Dude, I know who Professor Oak is. I just never made that link because I'm a fool. Also, fun fact, if you Google Albert Oak, to like research you, for example, the town of Albert, Oklahoma is very high on the list of rankings.
So I know this. I thought about what, because it's a very nowheresville town.
Yeah.
What if I got an address there, so I could say I'm a resident of Albert Oak because I'm Albert Oak.
Oh my
God. Right?
100%. Just a PO box.
Yeah, just a PO box or something.
Get it done, mate. Get it done.
It'd be perfect.
For your YouTube subscribers to send fan mail. That's amazing. Download Kaya, follow Albert, check out his beta, check out his sends. They are wonderful. Albert, it's been an absolute pleasure. Insightful, humble, wonderful brilliance. It's so lovely to chat. Thank you so much for joining me. Anything you want to say before we go?
I saw 2 questions in here, I guess. I'll just go run down the quick
I thought we've got
questions.
them all.
I saw a couple times asking when are the beta break episodes coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not for a while because IFSC copyright rules. We don't know. Maybe things are in the works. We'll see. And then I saw another one that was kind of long, but I don't remember. I don't know. I'm sorry. Message it to me and I'll answer it. I would love to answer your questions.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for sticking with us, folks, especially through those torrid technical times at the beginning. That was an absolute nightmare, but we got through. We did it. Albert, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. Can't wait to climb together soon.
Actually, very soon. Maybe in a month or so. Yeah.
Yeah? Why?
I'll come up to California. I'll come visit you in San Francisco.
Oh!
Yeah, let's go.
How about that? Let's go.
I want to do Eco Terrorist.
All about
it.
Okay, cool. We'll keep in touch. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day, night, wherever you are in the world. Climb hard, stay safe, check your knot, do the good stuff. Albert, thank you so much. Peace, dude.
Peace.